Hey there, my name is Asami Fire and welcome back to my channel. This is where I tell you everything I learned about a subject that I learned after watching anime, TV shows, movies, and playing video games. And think to myself, is that story based on something else? What did the creator take as inspiration from ancient myths or historical figures? Do I spend sleepless nights researching? Yes. Today, we will be looking at the 2021 Netflix original series adaptation Record of Ragnarök, written by Shinya Umemura and Takumi Fukui and illustrated by Ashijika. At the Council of Valhalla, gods have come together to decide if it's time for the extinction of humankind. Humans continue not learning from their mistakes of constant war, pollution, animals going extinct, and much more. They come to an agreement and vote that humans must be eliminated. Brunhild, eldest of the Valkyrie sisters, interrupts and speaks up and objects that the gods should allow humankind to at least have one last shot to prove themselves. If they manage to win a best of 13 battles against the gods, that's enough to prove that they can continue to live for the next thousands of years. Will humans be able to prove themselves? Ragnarok, the final battle between God and man. The first battle, the one, the only, Thor. His opponent, Lubu. But who will I be talking about? Thor, the god of thunder, son of Odin, the god of gods and war, and Jord, goddess of earth. In Old Norse mythology, the meaning of Thor is thunder, from the early Germanic Hundras. He is portrayed with red hair and beard, short-tempered, strong, brave, a powerful warrior, holding his powerful hammer, Mjölnir, and of course, is one of the popular gods out of all Norse mythology. Thor is mentioned in the Prose Edda, written by the Icelandic poet Snorri Sturluson around the 13th century. He is mentioned also in the Poetic Edda, written around the same time, but by an unknown writer. Here are some stories about Thor. One day, Loki, the god of mischief, being prankful as ever, thought, wouldn't it be funny if I cut Sif's hair, the goddess of grain and fertility, Thor's wife, while she's sleeping? Of course, this enraged Sif and Thor. Thor demanded Loki to get new hair for his wife. Loki be like, Daddy, chill. Loki promised Thor this time Sif's golden hair will be more beautiful than ever. So Loki went to the dwarves at Svartalfheim, realm of the dwarves, and asking them to make new hair for Sif with magic. Loki approached the dwarf Ivaldi. His sons at the time were working on the Gungnir, a spear for Odin, and the boat Skipblandir, a foldable ship for Freyr. Loki makes a bet with Brok and Sindri, or Itri, that there's no possible way that they can make other items better than the sons of Ivaldi. Sindri created the Golden Bursti for Freyr, Brok created the Draupnir, and finally, Brok made the iconic weapon named Mjölnir, given to Thor. If it wasn't for Loki's meddling with Brok during the creation, the handle wouldn't have been short. However, even with the short handle, it would still fit perfectly for Thor to hold. Thus, Thor's legendary Mjölnir was born. This hammer never missed its target, and it flew back like a boomerang to Thor's hand after being thrown. However, did you know Thor lost it? One day, a Jotun named Draupnir steals the hammer. At first, Draupnir agreed that he would return Thor's Mjölnir only if he takes Freya, goddess of fertility, love, beauty, magic, war, and death, in hand of marriage. Her response? Hell no. What's the next plan? Well, Loki suggests Thor to dress up as Freya. Loki be like, hear me out. You'll dress up as the bride, and I will go with you as a maid of honor. We will trick Draupnir and take back your Mjölnir. Having no choice, Thor agrees, and they both travel to Jotunheimr. Upon the arrival, Draupnir offers a dinner for his new bride. Thor eats extremely in a very fast and questionable way, arousing suspicion to Draupnir and his guests. Loki explains that the reason his new bride is eating that way is due to the long trip to Jotunheimr and eagerness to marry Draupnir. Then Draupnir lifts the veil to kiss his bride, Thor, and sees a terrifying face. Loki responds, she has not slept in days. Our apologies. Skreimir understands and asks to bring his gift for his new bride, the Mjölnir, as promised. Thor then strikes and kills Skreimir and his guests and reclaims his weapon. The end. Loki and Thor are traveling to visit a Jotun king named Utgard-Loki. Hungry and tired, they spend a night with the family. The family didn't have enough food, so Thor is like, I can provide some food. Your goat, of course. Thor said to the family, as long as they keep the bones and place them on top of the skin, he will be able to bring the goat back to life. What the fuck? Unfortunately, one of the kids, Slafi, breaks one of the bones just to get what is left of the marrow. He definitely missed what Thor instructed. So when the goat was resurrected, it had a limp. Kids, I swear, aren't they something else? Thor, angry at them for not listening, and the family is like, take the peasants, our kids, as your slaves. So now, Slafi and Ropska join Loki and Thor on their new journey. Continuing their journey with the servant kids, they rest for the night by taking shelter in a large-looking cave. The following morning, Thor, Loki, and the two kids wake up to a huge earthquake and discovered a Jotun sleeping named Skreimir. He asks, why are they sleeping inside his glove? Loki, Thor, and the two kids and Skreimir, they all have an enjoyable breakfast together and talk for a while. Skreimir later tells Thor he can have the food from his bag if he can untie the rope from the bag that's closed when he's asleep. So Thor tries, but I guess Thor ain't that strong. Thor, now angry again, uses his Mjölnir and hits Skreimir on the head. Unfortunately, this doesn't do anything, and Skreimir responded with, is that a leaf that fell on my head? And goes back to sleep. Like any other person who hates hearing one snoring, Skreimir snores were so loud that Thor again tries to hit him with his Mjölnir twice. Of course, nothing happened to him. The following day, Skreimir advises Thor and the others to leave and to not look for Utgard-Loki, as he is bigger than Skreimir himself and they will regret showing off their abilities to him. Not listening as always, they continue their journey. Thor and the gang reach the castle of Utgard-Loki. Upon their arrival, it is Thor's fourth attempt trying to be strong, but the castle was so massive he couldn't even open the heavy doors. But him and the gang were small enough to squeeze through the gated bars, so they can still enter the castle. There, they see the Jotun Utgard-Loki, and he is like, you fools dare enter and stay here? Very well, you must prove yourself in order to stay. First up, Loki, as he talks up a big game and challenges Utgard-Loki that no one can eat faster than him. His opponent would be Loki. Both had to eat a large meal. Easy, right? Wrong. Though Loki did eat everything, cleaning the bones, Loki ate the meat, the bones, the table, everything. Next competition was a race between Thor's new servant, Kiddo, Slafi, and Hugi. As Slafi brags about his running abilities, it's not hard to guess who won. Hugi did, and by considerably large margin as well. But nice try from the kid. Ropska is smart and decides to stay out of this mess. Smart cookie indeed. Now it's Thor's turn. He goes on about his drinking abilities, says no one can outdrink him. Utgard-Loki brings out a horn full of water and challenges him to finish it in 1 or 2 gulps. Thor takes a big gulp, barely drinking anything. He tries 2 more times and failed again. However, he did drink quite a bit from the horn. Utgard-Loki then challenges Thor to pick up his cat, but Thor was barely able to lift 1 paw of the cat. Aw, how cute. After such humiliation, Thor wants a wrestling match. Utgard-Loki brings his old nurse, Ellie, for the challenge. Thor then realized that this wrestling match was no match for him and loses. Again, he did, however, put up a good fight against her. At the end, Utgard-Loki would offer his hospitality for the night. The next day, Utgard-Loki kicks them out and tells Thor and the gang to never come back, and if they do, he will do anything in his power to make his location undetectable. Utgard-Loki would then reveal that the challenges Thor and the gang did were extremely dangerous and were meant to be impossible. It all started with Skreimir, as he was an illusion, along with the bag. The 3 blows Thor attempted at him were nearly fatal. Literally, 3 square valleys were flattened and destroyed with those strikes. The eating contest between Loki and Logi was about wildfire spreading. The race between Slafi and Hugi was about racing against thought. Thor's drinking horn challenge was connected to the ocean, so Thor literally lowered down ocean levels, causing tides. Utgard-Loki's cat was the representation of Thor actually lifting his destined enemy, the world serpent, Jormungandr, Loki's kiddo, who circles the world holding his tail with his mouth. So him lifting just one paw of the cat was extremely bad, as it is also Jormungandr. It is said if Jormungandr drops his tail, it means the world will end. Lastly, Thor's wrestling match with Ellie was about having a match with old age itself, and no one can bring old age down. Wow, heavy stuff. But it was impressive that he could put up a fight with her. Just a bit. Thor, being angry, attempts to strike Utgard-Loki with his Mjölnir, and then Utgard-Loki shows his illusionist powers again, disappearing along with the castle. Hearing these stories, you'll be asking, Asumi, was there or no clear representation of Thor in Record of Ragnarok? My answer, no. Well, at least not fully. Want to know how I came to that conclusion? Well, first, you need to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitch. Well, I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm kidding, but it's free, and it helps support me and my channel if you enjoy my content. Now, the anime is called The Record of Ragnarok. If you don't know what Ragnarok is, it is a great war that will occur at the end of times between the Asir, gods, its warriors, and the Jotuns, giants, including the dead from hell led by Loki. A lot of gods will die in Ragnarok, as well as many other things happening that have been prophesied. Thor would fight against the world serpent, Jormungandr. Thor is said to kill Jormungandr, but after taking 9 steps, Thor himself would die from the poison that Jormungandr inflicts on him. Like I said, a lot of stuff happens. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out my Loki video where I go a bit more in detail. Now, Thor is not dead in Record of Ragnarok. As a matter of fact, he wins against his opponent Lubu. Record's Thor physical appearance compared to the real Thor is sort of similar. They both have red hair as described, but the real Thor was known for having a beard, and his Mjölnir looks surprisingly larger than depicted. This thing looks massive, like holy cow, what the hell is this? I wonder if it has something to do with the representation of his strength by removing the original myth of the hammer, proving how strong Thor really is. Thor's personality is also slightly different. The only thing that Record Thor and the real Thor share is the egotistical mindset of being better than their opponents, using only one single and powerful strike to end the fight. However, Record Thor looks calm and collected, like real calm and collected, while the real Thor would be displaying anger and frustration within the first couple of minutes of battle. He was not a calm and collected man, at least in my opinion. Record Thor really is just the embellishment version of him, only focusing on how strong Thor is. That would make sense that the first fight would be between one of the strongest gods and the strongest humans in this testosterone-filled anime. For me, I enjoyed the show. I was able to recognize gods from different mythologies of their respective cultures that I'm familiar with. It was so exciting to see the portrayal of each one and how the fight between gods and legendary heroes would turn out. There was one fight where I'm like, whoa. Hold up a second. And that was between Zeus, god of thunder from Greek mythology, and Adam, the first man from the Bible. I'm excited for the second season on the way, and I'm excited to see what the next battles consist of. I mean, I haven't read the manga of Record of Ragnarok. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the anime, and what was your favorite fight? If you like this video and my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, remember, I'm Asumi Fire, and I am out like a candle. Bye!